Welcome to this explainer. Okay, so today we're tackling one of the absolute most pressing questions of our time, but we're going to look at it through a completely different lens. We're exploring how ancient Eastern philosophies, specifically correlative thinking and Huazhang, might actually offer this incredibly unexpected, empowering survival strategy for the modern AI era. Let's see what they have to teach us.
Okay, let's dive into this. Are you afraid AI will replace you? It's the question keeping literally millions of people awake at night, isn't it? We see these machines writing code, generating stunning art, and crunching massive data sets with hyper efficiency, and well, it's really easy to feel anxious about job displacement. But what if the root of that anxiety isn't actually the AI itself, but rather how we've been conditioned to measure our own progress?
Here is our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the illusion of linear growth. Then, co-evolving with AI. Third, the power of emptiness, followed by the human advantage. And finally, nurturing life today. Part 1. The illusion of linear growth. This brings us to a core tenet of correlative thinking called Sunwan, or cyclical thinking. Basically, it challenges this default Western idea that economies, grades, or even personal growth just have to shoot straight up into the sky like a rocket. Think about the seasons, right? Just because the start of spring is beautiful, it doesn't mean spring can, or even should, last forever. True sustainable growth actually requires the intense heat of summer, the gathering in of autumn, and crucially, the vital resting and storing phase of winter. In the AI era, rapid technological booms naturally have to be followed by these periods of adjustment, rest, and recovery. So, when we rely entirely on linear thinking, any disruption, like, say, AI suddenly automating a major part of your job, feels like a catastrophic failure. You panic. Cyclical thinking, though, it's this highly flexible, resilient mindset. It views unexpected shifts not as the end of the line, but just as a necessary winter before a totally new kind of spring. And it's in that space that we leave massive room for human creativity to adapt and actually find those unexpected, nonlinear, happy accidents. Section 2. Co-evolving with AI. Now we get to the concept of Huazhang. This is essentially the harmonization of opposites, and it's captured perfectly by this proposition. X is neither negative X nor X. I know, it sounds like a literal riddle, but it's incredibly practical. It's challenging us to stop rigidly labeling ourselves or our technology. Don't label AI purely as this evil enemy or purely as a magical savior. And please, don't label yourself with a single rigid job title. When we finally let go of these fixed terms, we open ourselves up to actual growth. In this interdependent view, which is known as mythos or dependent origination, nothing arises in a vacuum. A flower needs sunlight, it needs soil, it needs wind. Similarly, AI does not exist independently from us. It learns from our data, our corporate structures, and our own social values. We are co-evolving. So when AI creates a problem, it's not just the machine's fault, right? It's a matter of shared, mutual responsibility across our entire web of relations. Let's move to and see how this builds into the idea of relational becoming. You are not a static, finished product. You are continually being made and remade through your relationships with your friends, your teachers, and yes, your tools. AI isn't a standalone enemy coming to conquer you. It is simply a powerful new relationship you're encountering while generating a better, more evolved version of yourself. Section 3. The power of emptiness. For a lot of people, the word emptiness sounds like this scary, nihilistic void. But gung, or emptiness, is actually an open state. It's bursting with possibility. Think of an empty cup. It's literally only useful because it's empty and ready to be filled. If your mind is completely jammed full of fixed prejudices, old inertias, and the stubborn belief that you only have one specific skill, there is absolutely no room for the new wisdom you're going to need to navigate the AI era. If you operate with a fixed identity, saying things like, I'm just a copywriter, or I'm just a coder, well, yeah, the idea of AI is going to be terrifying. But if you embrace open possibility, you recognize that you're a fluid, dynamic being. You realize that impermanence isn't a threat to you, it's a profound wisdom that grants you ultimate flexibility. You aren't losing your identity, you're just clearing space in the vessel for something totally new. Section 4. The human advantage. So the crucial point is that our true uniqueness lies in qualia. This is the subjective, living texture of an experience. Think about the vivid feeling of seeing the color red, or that actual physical ache in your chest when you hear sad music, or the goosebumps you get looking out at a massive ocean. AI can calculate the exact wavelength of red. It can analyze the rhythmic structure of a sad song in milliseconds, but it can never, ever actually feel it. That raw, lived experience is your deepest, most untouchable advantage.
When we break down this comparison, it's actually incredibly validating. AI excels at abstract data learning, sure, but humans create meaning through self-reflection. AI can simulate emotions based on data patterns. We experience genuine empathy and love. Ontologically speaking, AI is a functional instrument, while we are substantial beings with real bodily experience. And finally, ethics. AI operates on data processing and whatever biases are in that data, while humans navigate the world with a moral conscience and free will. Our perceived human flaws, our feelings, our physical limits are actually our greatest unreplicable assets.
And this leads us perfectly to embodied cognition. We do not think with our brains sitting in a jar. We think with our whole bodies. You cannot learn to ride a bicycle just by reading a manual, right? And you can't master the piano just by memorizing sheet music. Your fingers literally have to feel the keys thousands of times. As AI takes over massive amounts of purely digital information processing, our raw physical presence, our embodied wisdom actually skyrockets in value.
Section 5. Nurturing Life Today.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the concept of Yongxing, or nurturing life. In ancient philosophy, this refers to the incredible cosmic moment where abstract spirit first acquires a concrete physical body. It's an ontological leap. And it is the one absolute miracle that artificial intelligence, no matter how much data it consumes, can never imitate. AI has no body. To survive the AI era, we must actively nurture our physical embodiment.
So what does this actually look like in practice? The habits are surprisingly simple, yet deeply profound. Spend 30 minutes just walking or drawing without your smartphone. Turn off your digital notifications so you can have a real face-to-face conversation where you genuinely feel the other person's presence. Go out and physically play in nature on the weekends without a screen in sight. And socially, cultivate a symbiotic economy, which really just means actively caring for and connecting with real people right in your local community. Thriving in the AI era isn't about outcomputing the machines. It's about fiercely protecting and nurturing our embodied humanity.
We want to leave you with this final thought. If we actually apply correlative thinking and Huajing, stopping the rigid categorizations and embracing ourselves as fluid, physically embodied humans, co-evolving with technology, what new possibilities will you open? The future doesn't belong to the smartest machine. It belongs to the most deeply nurtured human. Thank you so much for joining us for this explainer, and we will see you next time.